Hey, it's your boy Lock Zero, and I'm here with.
It's me and main man Rev. How you guys doing today?
And we are here to bring you the latest and the greatest in the One Piece verse.
Yeah, we got it fresh off the presses. The hottest pirate adventures Oda has dreamed up this week. Yeah. And like always, before we start, make sure to hit a like and subscribe button. If you want, drop a comment in the section below. If you have anything you think of the video, we always appreciate the feedback.
Drop some comments in there, even if you want to just talk about these dope ass Digimon cards I got.
Oh yes, want to flex on them?
Yeah, I'm showing it to the cam. The resolution is not coming in so great, but I got this nice alternative art Diaboromon or Armageddonmon, excuse me, Chaos Gallantmon. I'll just show them the big hits, so I waste everybody's time. But let me see. There's this Omnimon Zwart Defeat. It's like the second rarest card in this set. Nice big hit, but I got a bunch of. I got 2 booster boxes and I got a bunch of really good hits. So yeah.
Very nice.
Show you in case you want to take a look. If you can even see what the fuck.
I can't really see it, I'll be honest. But be sure to check out the videos where you reveal them in better detail later. But yeah, let's jump into it now. We have chapter 1022. Man, we're really getting away from chapter 1000. It feels like it was just yesterday. Mm-hmm. But this chapter's titled "The Stars Take the Stage." Very interesting.
And there's the cover art with Leo and his crew. Well, not even just his crew, just the Tontada tribe, playing hide and seek in hydrangea flowers with some frogs.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit.
They're just having a good time, bouncing around, enjoying the forest, just living up life, man. It's just sometimes not all about the crazy mishaps, but simple things. But yeah, honestly, this didn't really blow me away. I don't know what they're adventuring for. So, let's move on into the actual meat of the chapter this week. All right, let's see what stars are taking what stage.
Yes.
All right.
So we get a little recap from the narrator. He's talking about, how they started off with the 30,000 versus the 5,400. And we get a little recap of the battles that have occurred, the major battles. And my cat is trying to tear up my fucking couch, sorry. But anyway, it shows the X's with Who's Who, Black Maria, Page 1, Old T, Sasaki. And, it talks about how they were defeated. But we only see the 3 panels. We see Black Maria, Who's Who, and Sasaki just laid out and blood coming out of their respective mouths.
All wide-eyed, showing that they are definitely done and out for the count at this moment. They can't come back in the battle. They have no more lives in this game over. But anyway, so we also see Onishigama flying to the mainland. And, based on the narration bubble, it looks like we have 15 minutes. So any anime fan will know it's going to be about 3 years now until we actually get there.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. Just take that. 15 minutes will be as long as Oda wants 15 minutes to be. So, and also, even if it's going to take 15 minutes to get there, who knows that it's just going to drop straight down. I mean, Momo can just, it could be 15 minutes till it gets there, but then it starts to descend, and then Momo starts to push back, and we get another, birdcage situation where everybody's pushing against the walls of the birdcage to stop it from crushing the city. But to be fair, I don't think that actually slowed down the birdcage.
I think it did. Because what it said was, throughout the fight, it said, Luffy has less time to recover than time for the birdcage to close, and it seemed like they stopped that from happening, giving Luffy that extra 2 minutes he needed to get the job done. So I get that. I will push back.
Okay. So we cut back to the Raizo and Fukurokuju fight, and they're going at it. Raizo.
This reminds me a lot of the Frankie style fights where a lot of crazy stuff is just happening, and it's just all.
Yeah, everything's on fire. Raizo is using Kagebunshin no Jutsu. Fukurokuju is using his earlobes as whips
to smack people around.
Yeah.
Because he has control of every inch of his body.
Yes.
But then we see here, while talking about their disciplines, Fukurokuju is clearly the superior ninja because he can track down which body and trick Raizo into revealing himself.
Yeah. To be fair, to be fair, the one that he is actually Raizo is the only one that has bandages on, so that might have been a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah,
Um,
now that I'm noticing that, maybe Fukurokujo is not that great of a ninja.
yeah.
Maybe I need to pay more attention to details. But yeah. So he keeps battering him by his ideals and saying they're following ghosts. And of course, this whole arc has been like they're all ghosts and they're all dead people anyway, so they got to carry on the spirit of their lord. As One Pieces tend to romantic about stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It talks about how they're the ghosts, and then we see the various scabbards in their position. Kawamatsu's still dealing with people. Kinemon's laid out still. Neko is angry. Denjiro. This is the first we've seen of Denjiro in a while. He's just been kind of MIA.
What is he doing? When did he dip off from the fight?
I don't know. They didn't even show him leaving. They didn't even say anything. He just was not there. Well, we have Kikunoju, like still
And
bloody
then
and
her arm
laid out. Yeah.
somewhere else.
Izo's still dealing with stuff. What the hell is that fat guy's name?
Ashura Dojo.
Yeah, Ashura Doji. Yeah. And he's still laid out from the explosion. Inu is still apparently okay. Still fighting Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, not dead or bloody, so that's good. I thought he was gonna get messed up. But so they're doing their back and forth, and he's like, Momo will be Shogun by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Interesting declaration. Can't be on the Pirate King crew if you're landed the samurai. Just saying. So.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's interesting, like Fukurokuju, he's an asshole, granted, but he has his own sense of duty. It's not
Gotta go to honor.
It's not so much. I guess it kind of recolors him for me as a character, because it's like he wasn't an opportunist. He wasn't just trying to go with
flow of power.
Yeah, he just honor bound, duty bound to serve the shogun. Whatever happens to make the shogun who the shogun is outside of his jurisdiction. He's just on a mission to that's his ninja way, and Raizo's like, nah, son.
That's the wrong ninja way. Believe that.
Believe it. But yeah, we cut to the next scene, and it's Hawkins versus Killer, and Killer has been making some headway. He's asking how many replacements you have in there. He's starting to seem to get a little winded. We see a bunch of scattered straw dolls all over the floor.
All cut up and stuff.
Yeah. And Hawkins is like, he says he pities those lives. I doubt that he really cares, but Killer stabs him, and then Hawkins proposes the question, whose lives do these belong to? And then we cut to
Big Mom and Kaido. Big Mom fighting Kid and Law, and we see Kid burst to the ground, just fall down, and he has a stab wound out of nowhere. So it looks like Hawkins has found his man for the link, and as we see on his chest, Kid takes a wound out of nowhere. It looks like Hawkins has, put Killer in quite a position now. Gonna make him choose between finishing off Hawkins and killing his captain, or letting Hawkins, I guess, kill him. And he seems to do it with a little smile and evil glare in his eye, and showing off a little sadistic side here. Hawkins is kind of a dick.
Yeah, prior to Wano, I kind of always took Hawkins as a very apathetic kind of personality, but when he was talking shit to Law before and stuff, he just has this glare and this smile, kind of sadisticness to him, to his personality, and he seems to
also we remember he also got Kaido to blow up the mountain where all the Straw Hats were, and he may have figured out that they were there and just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill all these guys right now. So
yeah, maybe. But yeah, he takes joy, because he says I was thinking about just letting you kill him without saying anything, but if it might be more entertaining to just watch you struggle with this decision and see what you do. And he says the only way you can finish me off is by personally killing your own captain.
And then we get one more look of him in a face full of shadows. You can now put on a show for me. Mm-hmm. So and then.
So yeah, tell me about your idea about how he was gonna deal with this situation, because it's not one that I actually heard before.
So my idea was that this could expose a weakness in Hawkins' Devil Fruit, where it's like the hits that he takes go to the straw man. But what's to say that the straw man can't inflict wounds to themselves or have someone inflict a wound on them that would go back and hit Hawkins? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe what they could set up is Law, like, or Killer and all of them, like, changing, using the room ability, switching them, maybe stabbing Kid and, like, letting Hawkins take the attack, or having a time it where Hawkins has to release this because they figure it out, release the ability, and they have to time it correctly to, like, slash Hawkins or they'll kill Kid or something. And of
Yeah,
course, you got Big
a
Mom in the
two-way,
back.
a two-way.
Yeah.
It's a two-way gate. It's not just not just Hawkins.
Not
is
just a
immune.
one way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this could expose a vulnerability in his Devil Fruit. So I feel like most Devil Fruits have interesting counters, and most, and a lot of them have, like, interesting ways they've been, like, figure it out. So I think this could be an interesting, a good way of backfiring on the captain.
Hmm.
Because why didn't he just do this, like, to Kaido or something, or somebody else? Like, that's another question I have. Like, who can he make the straw man? Like, because I think Kid is stronger than him, right?
Kid is stronger
I
than
don't know.
who? Hawkins or
Than
Kid?
Hawkins, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to think so. It's also weird to me too. Like, does can't with? I mean, we don't know the parameters of Hawkins' abilities, but like, and we don't know how he like. Does he just have to touch somebody and then he can make them into a voodoo doll? Does he have to put something on them? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know exact specifications as to how that works. Because couldn't he just do this kind of shit to Kaido or Big Mom or somebody and just like stab himself and then take them out in the process? You know what I mean? Like, there there has to be something to it, that mechanic that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah, because we haven't seen enough of it yet.
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. So a theory that I think I've seen speculated is, like, maybe he can just like buff himself up with Conquerors, and the blow doesn't transfer or something like that. Even if he gets hit. Um, so there's that aspect. Some people are like, oh, he could just cut off his left arm. Kid doesn't have an arm anyway, so you know what I mean. Like, he can just cut off the arm. Hawkins takes the damage, and Kid is just like, why is my arm falling off? You know what I mean? So there's that aspect as well. Who knows? I mean, maybe Kid and Killer can communicate somehow, and Kid is like, just go for it, just do it, because Law is a doctor, and he could probably do something to heal whatever wound he would receive. So, I mean, Big Mom is not probably just gonna let them do whatever they want. But
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She has to tie into this somehow, and, like, maybe be a part of it, like a swapperoo with Law's room ability once again. Maybe they'll do like a triple, double swap. Slash ability or something. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. They got all that we know is that the Supernovas are in quite a precarious situation right now, and Killer does not have an easy way out right now.
yeah, absolutely.
And we go to the next one, and we're at the performance floor. And what a double page we have! We have a King and Queen in their Queen at least is in his beast form, his hybrid form. King is just on fire, looking all crazy, and he has one of the gifters in his hand, one of the gorilla dudes, I forget his name, and he sets him on fire, and it's like, holy crap, this guy is terrifying. And you see all the gifters below, the crab guy, and I think it's like a slug man, and they're all on fire as well, and they are not happy about the betrayal of the gifters.
Yeah, no, this is
about
is
it
a
now?
pretty intimidating scene to see, like, all this crazy chaos. Imagine a giant brontosaurus man and a pretty big fire wing S&M guy.
S&M pterodactyl man, yeah, on fire.
In
It's
flame.
pretty intimidating.
Yeah. But yeah, we
look
see.
around. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we see Marco, and he's kind of laid out, so it looks like he's been pushed to his limits. And Sanji is also laid out, and he's I'm not gonna take this as like he was defeated. I think he just probably was just kind of like knocked back, and
Because he immediately says, two of them at the same time is too much. So he probably got took a combined attack right there. Did not go too well for him.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody's stressed out, wondering who's gonna be able to deal with this, because they're just wiping out people on the floor.
And we see Queen firing off laser beams from his hand, laughing like a psycho.
Yeah.
But Yeah, in the next panels we see Sanji trying to get to Chopper Miyagi and see where Zoro's at. He's like, if he's not working, the medicine isn't working, just drag him away to safety. And Chopper's like, well, we gave him the medicine, and looks like it's not working or not working that fast. And Grandpa Chopper leans over. He's like, hey, you gotta keep doing it. Keep your chin up. And we see Zoro in what seems to be a lot of pain, and he's either struggling or trying not to poop his pants. I'm not sure which, but something's going on there.
Yeah. Sanji jumps in, gives Queen a quick kick, and is trying to break things up. King, like you said before, he is
Absolute
the
boss.
most competent person, and he's saying, hey, they gave this guy some weird ass medicine, go deal with Zoro before he recovers. And Perospero is in the background targeting Sanji. He's going to snipe him, and he's blaming Sanji for the predicament that they're in. Like, Sanji should just let himself be killed.
And, I was like, that's a very stupid logic, man.
Yeah.
Like, you should have died earlier so that I don't have to kill you now. Like, what?
Yeah, he should have died earlier so we could have got to the German technology, and then we wouldn't be in this scenario. But, Nekomamushi shows up and deals him a pretty strong blow. He smacks, punches him in the face, and that's Perospero's speech bubble after he gets smacked the shit out of, and
he gets sent flying into some rocks about 50 yards away.
Yeah.
Adoom.
Yeah, Perospero's taking some pretty hard hits, man. Like,
he is commander level, like I will say. Like, I know he's not an official, but like I think he's pretty much like one of the top guys as well.
Yeah.
And he has his candy armor. I think like that is an underrated thing. Like I think it's like a Kevlar candy armor thing he has going on.
Yeah.
So it probably helps with the damage.
But yeah, it says we found him. There's Zoro, and they're chasing after him, and now some samurai are carrying Zoro. And they run up, and King just interjects himself. He's like, nah, son.
Like, I gotta do this myself, man. This is ridiculous. Can't get no good help in one. I gotta do everything. And if you think about it, he's the only one who's actually done anything effective. Kick the big mom pirates out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a real heads up dude. He knows what's got going on. And then he sets himself on fire, conjuring a fireball. He's about to kill all these guys. We see Sanji trying to rush in to save, but Marco is the quickest, gets there and uses Undying Pistol attack and provides a shield for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Blocks King's crazy Fire Blast attack.
Word.
Not today, not very effective. And Marco with a quick little interjection and kind of giving us a background, saying there's a race of people atop the Red Wall who could burst into flames. So, this is explaining some of King's story.
Yeah,
but that really raises more questions than
yes, seriously. Like, we need more fucking questions at this point in time. But, he talks about this race of people atop the Red Wall could burst into flames. The translation I saw said conjure flames, which I think is actually more accurate. And so here we have King the Wildfire, but King ain't talking shit. He ain't dropping any info yet.
Like, no, I gotta give you my weakness, or even any confirmation. Be in confusion. This is a battle. We don't talk as much. But anyways, Queen's pretty upset. He comes back. He's like, you're still alive. He wants to fire off a laser beam, and as Queen is wont to do, just keep talking crap. But Marco is like, you know what? I don't got time for this. He's like, I'm gonna tap out. And he just decides to take a nap in the middle of a battle. He's given up. He's like, I'm satisfied. And then we see a flash of bandages, and they are just ripped up. And no more Zoro in the bandages. Everybody looking with the crazy, elongated eyes, like at what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
We see close up of baby Grandpa Chopper in sheer disbelief.
Yes.
And the next page is so awesome.
Marco's like, it's time for the stars to take the stage. So he's ready. He's setting up the platform. He's like, I did my piece. You guys come in. And we got a panel, Zoro and Sanji next to each other saying three-sword style, Diable! And King and Queen are like gritting their teeth, shocked and
confused at what's about to happen.
Yeah, Zoro's like, Purgatory Oni! And
Sanji's Diable Muten!
And
Malat!
And Zoro doing his Purgatory Onigiri! And yeah, this cool ass panel, double panel, Zoro slashing King whilst Sanji kicks the shit out of Queen and is blasting through them, and everybody's cheering them on. And finally, the chapter wraps up with Zoro being like, "Hey, once we're done with this battle, we're gonna catch a glimpse." And then Sanji kicks in as of Luffy as King of the Pirates. So you love to see it.
Yeah.
You love to see
You know,
the
they're getting
Zoro.
close to the top.
Yeah, you love to see the Zoro Sanji combo, like, you know,
When
that's
they combine their powers, they get ish done.
yeah. It's heartwarming, and it's also like, you know some shit's about to go down, because you know they don't like each other, but when it's time to get serious, you know they get fucking serious. So you know, yeah, man.
There we go.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, so with this 15-minute time limit, which probably doesn't mean much of anything, the speculation this fight can be wrapped up fairly quickly. Zoro fights tend to go pretty fast. You know, so I'm kind of thinking this. I'm hoping there's no horsing around. I'm hoping there's no delays, and it's just straight action, straight to business, duking it out hardcore, no fucking around, you know.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all we have left on the table is, you know, the main battles now. We have commander level battles, it feels like, all around. Ino versus Pero, Neko versus Pero, Ino versus Jack, the All-Stars versus the All-Stars. So, yeah, and other than that, we have Kaido and Odin slash Yamato battling on the roof. So, you know, pretty much that's it. Like, I think all the lower guys have been, you know, turned or defeated by the samurai at this point.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Sanji's not even. I want to point out, Sanji's not using his raid suit yet. Dealing with these guys, so like, and he's putting up a pretty good like fight. He was fighting
Maybe
both of them
he is
before
using
without
his raid suit. You know, it's just the black sleek version. You know, top off. You know, he just doesn't want to wear the mask part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if, you know, because he mentioned me before, he's like, oh, I should have Usopp and Frankie modify it for me. I'm wondering if, like, that's going to come into play. Because I was thinking, okay, he's shown his raid suit already. It looked normal as the same way it was before. So I'm like, maybe this isn't the arc where we see the modified raid suit. Maybe it'll be in a future story, but maybe he puts on the regular raid suit and he's dealing with them and he's like, not making too much headway but not being defeated either. Then he's like, okay, I gotta step this up, and then he presses another button to go to super raid suit mode, and it's, you know, he turns into
I don't know. I like the first area where it hasn't like been upgraded yet, just for the sole fact that I feel like we haven't seen the full capability of Sanji in the raid suit. Like he battled page 1 a little bit, but like, you know, that was kind of a, you know, a quick shot. I think he like destroyed him, if I remember correctly.
he beat the shit out of him. He was putting him through his paces, but you know, at the same time, I mean, it wasn't like he was making too much headway either. It was just kind of, it's hard to say. His intention wasn't to sit there and just beat up page 1, you know. More than anything, he needed to make a diversion for them to escape and shit. So, you know, maybe if he was taking more serious as like, this is a battle I need to finish right now, versus this is something we need to deal with so we can move on, that'd be a different story. But yeah.
But anyways, so we have 15 minutes left to go before we reach the capital. And will it drop on the capital? Will it be saved? Who knows? We did get a little flash of Luffy this week, and looks like he's fully full and ready to rejoin the battle.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we get confirmation of that soon in the next chapter, that he's on his way.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything with this chapter.
So
Covered all the talk. Oh yeah, I like the reveal with this race that King is a part of. You know, it's obviously it's a big information drop, and it's like, okay, now we have another layer of mystery in the One Piece world to speculate about. But it's kind of hard to speculate on this. There's very, very little information, so it's like, you know, who knows? It could.
We know it's top of the red line, so maybe something to do with the Ribito some way. You know, the Holy Land being in close proximity. Maybe they know how it was formed. I don't know. Like,
Maybe. I mean, so some people speculate, and I probably include myself among this, this group of people, that the red line is artificial. It was put there to break things up, divide the sea, whatever the case. Seems unnatural to me. So then it's like, okay, but then we have a group of people who reside on the red wall, so it's like it kind of proposes that it's a natural thing. You know what I mean? Like they grew up and evolved around this place, so it's like
nah, because then you could say the same thing with the whole Skypiea arc. You know, World of One Piece is crazy. I give nothing. I have no theories until he reveals it. You know, like he has some crazy world building logic in here. So it could just be as simple as in the 800 years since or even more, right? Like, you know, since whatever like got built, that someone just moved in and, you know, chilled out, and they have nothing to do with the wall. They have no knowledge of it, but maybe they were a part of it and they understand what's going on. Who knows?
yeah, who knows? I mean, they could have been bred to be there on purpose to guard it from something, or maybe they're extinct because the celestial dragons didn't want them there anymore. I mean, it kind of makes me lean more towards that the red line is not an unnatural thing, and it's a thing that the people resided there, and then, you know, the Void Century happened, and the celestial dragons went to Marijoa, and they didn't want anybody else living in their properties.
No,
So
I mean, if anything, it kind of lends it to more that it's fake, because it's like now you have these, you know, fire wizard people who live on top of the red line. Maybe they, you know, had something to do with the construction of it, the building of it. Maybe, you know, fire power isn't the only thing they can do. You know?
maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, they could have been made artificially to guard it, but then they served their purpose and then they were driven into extinction. I mean, like I said, there's so little information. It's kind of hard to speculate, you know, anything about King and, you know, this race of people who live there, and kind of hard to speculate what purpose will this serve in the overall story of One Piece and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's too little information to go off of right now.
Absolutely. But interesting reveal and great chapter.
Mm-hmm. This was a bit better than just solid. It was pretty decent. You know, I wasn't crazy blown away by it. The stuff with Zoro and Sanji is super cool. Don't get me wrong, but we caught it just at the tail end of the chapter, so it's like, you know, things are just starting. I think next chapter is gonna be fucking crazy once they actually get into a fight. But you know, it's just starting up.
Yeah, for me it was a lot of like still like setup, you know, like really cool setup, like with especially with the double splash at the end, but a lot of just like, you know, quick check-ins with everybody, which was really appreciated because it's good to see that everybody's, you know, not dead yet, and some crazy stuff happening. Seeing Pedo get knocked around in his face was really nice, because I hate that guy.
I love Pedo Spedo. Like, I love to hate Pedo Spedo. Yeah, exactly.
He's a great villain. I love, exactly, like, I'll say it that way. Like, he's a great villain. He's smart. And, you know, special shout out to King for once again being the most confident man in this universe. Like, really understanding what the strategy is going to be. Be like, hey, let's stop them from getting their second best fighter back on the field.
Yeah. So one thing I think detracts a little bit from the chapter is the Raizo and Fukurokuju stuff. Like, just no, I mean, the fighting part is cool, it's interesting, but these are things that they touched on when they previously engaged in fighting each other before, about their morals and their values, and why do you serve Odin? Odin's gone. They didn't really take that conversation any further. You know what I mean? They just recanvassed the shit they already discussed. At least that's how I interpret it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, to me, it just felt like this shit was there to take up space more than anything.
I can see that. That's what you're saying. But yeah, I'm of the same opinion where it's just like a really, really good chapter. I would give it like a B++, really high, but not that A.
I give it
amazing
a B-.
double page.
We'll continue.
But I mean, two good splash pages. You know, King and Queen messing up the gifters in the performance hall, and at the end page, you know,
yeah, maybe a B.
Doing some looks to be serious damage.
B-.
You know, pretty
Yeah.
good stuff. And then We see, Hawkins showing off his sadism side, so adding more.
Yeah, that was a really good. That was a good
really
highlight
good
of the
stuff.
chapter because it's it's not just brute force. There's some there's some mind games at play here. So there's we can't just will our way through. We gotta think about this intellectually.
Just use cool moves, do this really really smart. And you got Law on your side, so
it definitely adds a sense of tension to the scenario. So overall, I give this chapter an 8.6.
I'll give it an 8.9. Just on the cusp, almost on the cusp of getting a 9. Just no overall, I guess, big Luffy moment or Kaido moment. So that's I think the only thing that just missed the cut for me. But overall, seeing all the All Stars in action, even I guess I could have used more Big Mom. I think doing something cool, but she didn't really do much or anything. She was looking laughing in the background. But moved the chapter forward a lot, which I appreciated, and setting up the big fights. So I guess Zoro and Sanji have officially taken that All-Star title to themselves, setting the stage and appropriately handling the chapter. So yeah, Marco is putting the young ones to step up, and we'll see if they can do it.
Nice. Yeah. So that is our chapter grade, and now we can move on to the MVP. So this one is actually not cut and dry. The last few chapters have been pretty straightforward who the MVP was. I think we have a few more candidates for this. So let's see. One of the candidates, we can maybe speculate Hawkins. Because Hawkins is kind of running his show where he was dealing with Killer.
Two ones you can put up there, I think, would be King. Did some big boy stuff this week. Looking very scary and ominous, and also very strategic. Marco would also get a shout out for me just for his saving Zoro, and then having the confidence in the young guys. To be like, all right, you guys got this. I'm gonna take a nap in the middle of the battle.
Yeah, and so those are pretty much our candidates. I think I'm actually gonna give it to King.
I was leaning towards King myself, actually, just because he did some cool stuff. Didn't answer, Marco's dumb questions. I'm going to confirm the potential weakness. Yeah, that's what I would do. He tried to get Zoro taken out, but got delayed. And just overall just running shit.
Absolutely.
But for me, I would say Hawkins is a close second, but I needed a little bit more. Him attacking Killer to really show that he's also very dangerous as well, not just they gotta scooch around and figure their way out of it.
So far we haven't seen a great showing from Hawkins. I mean, more than anything, his combat focuses pretty solely on his Devil Fruit ability, the fact that he can just take advantage of the fact that he can transfer damage to somebody else. You know what I mean? Because we haven't seen him use any kind of crazy damaging attack, and
the scariest thing was the voodoo doll that Zoro slashed up in 1 second. So not very.
Yeah.
Very intimidating.
If anything, I think he's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts kind of character. He doesn't have any crazy Omega Slash. He just has 1,000 little pinpricks and needles that will eventually wear you down. Yeah.
Wear you down.
So yeah, man, that was our MVP.
Alright, so I guess we can go to the next part and talk about chapter predictions for chapter 1053. I think it's going to be called Hellfire Erupts Everywhere. No. No, I don't know about the prediction of the name. I would never try and guess that because it's completely random. But I think the next chapter is going to end with Luffy and Momo, all teamed up right on their way back now. Because, we've been consistently seeing, Luffy, his recovery process or where he's at, and it looks like it's pretty much he's good to go. And with the All-Stars about to gear up, hopefully that's a quick battle. They do all one coordinated big attack and kill them all at once, and then it just sets up Kaido versus Luffy. Maybe.
Do you thinking that King and Queen get taken out next chapter?
No. I think some of the All Stars fall. Sorry, maybe Fukurokuju or Jack. I'm thinking actually might get taken
Maybe.
out. Yeah, I think Jack and maybe Pedospero at the same time are gonna
Some
get
people
dealt
some people speculate
a huge blow.
that in order for Luffy to come back and deal with Kaido and make it believable, like okay, he actually has a chance this time. It's kind of like a similar situation with Enies Lobby when he ran into Bluno, and like Bluno was kind of like the test for him to showcase like his abilities and stuff. Some people are thinking it might be a parallel between that and like Jack. Like Jack is about to like deal with Inu, and then Luffy shows up and he just kind of like almost one shots Jack before he makes it to Kaido. Because then we could be there's a scope of like, oh shit, Luffy is progressed, he's grown, he has something more to offer, and he can show up against Kaido and actually maybe deal with him this time. So who knows? Maybe that's gonna be a scenario.
I like the scenario where he just punches Kaido in the head and it's just like really like.
Well, he did that
messes
already
him
with
up.
Red Rock. You know what I mean? And Kaido was.
Yeah, do it again with Super Red Rock,
I don't know.
and it's like the entire like skull of Onishigami like it just gets blown off or something. And, like Kaido gets like sent to the performance floor in front of everyone. And it's like, yeah, Luffy's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
Ah.
So my prediction is that the majority of the next chapter is going to be Zoro and Sanji versus King and Queen, and we're going to have small events surrounding that. Maybe we finally get the beginning of Luffy ascending back to Onigashima, and that would involve Momonosuke being transformed. I would be super angry if we get another fucking silhouette. Maybe the chapter ends and like it's like Luffy being like, I'm ready to go up there, and we see a shadow of like Momonosuke's adult foot like standing on the ground. He's like, Luffy, I'm a man now, let's do this. You know what I mean? There's some shit.
And he still looks stupid though in his face, like for the next chapter. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they just give a full reveal. It's big Momonosuke dragon man flying around,
Maybe.
with Luffy.
When he finally does turn into a dragon, I'm fairly certain it's gonna look dope as shit. With like Luffy like riding on him, like flying up to the island, it's gonna look super cool.
This is One Piece we're talking about. I think it's gonna look super lame on purpose. I think it's gonna be actually ridiculously lame.
I don't-
Luffy be fat and bloated still, like, I'm gonna beat him, Kaido, and then it's like Momo's an adult, but he's like still like a pansy looking dragon. He's like, we're gonna go beat him up, and it's just like these guys are gonna beat Kaido.
I don't know, man.
Seriously?
There's
It's something
there's some
ridiculously
cool
hilarious.
ass moments. Like obviously there's a lot of comedy and shit, but
If anyone's gonna make it cool, it's gonna be Oda, yeah. But like,
I don't think
know, I feel like we have a curveball Kaido, a curveball return moment coming our way.
I don't think Momonosuke's like dragon is gonna look as aggressive as Kaido's dragon, but I do think it'll look more solid, more serious. You know what I mean? Like he's more soft in his design than Kaido. Like Kaido's very angular and jagged and sharp, and Momonosuke's dragon is more like curvy and swirly and kind of shit. Like it's more of a good dragon kind of scenario.
Like a baby fat kind of scenario, right? Where he's just not, he's a little baby dragon. Yeah. We'll see. I kind of hope they don't turn him into an adult and just like leave him as a kid and they just figure out another way around it. Personally, but I mean,
We will see.
Whatever.
So yeah, that was my prediction. Bulk of the chapter, Zoro and Sanji, probably wrap up with Luffy taking his first step to flying back up to the island, and the silhouette of
I'm thinking we
Momonosuke.
do. I'm thinking it's a lot of mid-level commander battles, like the ninjas hashing it out, maybe Jack and Benosbedo versus Ino and Neko. And probably a Hawkins check-in because that was some scary stuff I saw today. But yeah, those are my. I think we're gonna save the Luffy Sanji, the Zoro Sanji stuff for a little bit later on. Like maybe that gets like the next chapter after that.
Maybe. All right. So I guess on that note, man, thank you for joining us and listening to us rant and rave about the recent chapter. It was super fucking dope. Those double spreads were awesome. I'm sure a lot of people got new wallpapers for the computers based on those spreads. So
I can't wait to see them colorized. That's a really cool
yeah,
spread you
definitely.
got there.
I have to check on that the colored manga, like see if they've done any new volumes since the last time I read. Because I know they got into Wano a bit with the colored version. So, but yeah, super awesome.
And like always, you know, if you guys want, hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know if you got any comments, any theories that maybe we missed, or anything if you want to discuss the Hawkins theory, or if it has a weakness, you know, feel free to leave a note, and we'd be, more than welcome to, give some banner on that the next time we're on here.
Yeah. All right, guys. I've been Lock Zero. And we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.